we mentioned Trash Talking Tuesday, and you went at Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers on Deadspin.com, who you write a column for. You also wrote another column there.
I was busy today. Yeah, yes. I had double duties today.
Yes. And this one you went at, I'm just going to put it out there and then you can explain it. But you went at the Houston Texans, not at them.
Right, but
Deshaun, you said that they should trade Deshaun Watson. Not tomorrow, not today, but yesterday. I disagree wholeheartedly, but I want you to explain yourself.
I'm just at this point now here, like this whole notion, like he knows anything. And I'm Chris, I'm going to just, these sometimes, this, you've covered sports for a long time. You'll talk to players. They play. You know what I mean? Right. That's what they do. Shaquille O'Neal. We said it before,
Rob. A lot of these guys didn't even, well, this is about what you're about to lead into, but a lot of these guys didn't even grow up watching the game like we did. Like those of us who weren't
who wound up being athletes, who weren't good enough, right? We wound up paying attention. That's how a guy like Bill Belichick and all these guys who never played in the NFL become coaches because they weren't playing, Chris. They were analyzing and studying the game and reading up on it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a knock on the players. In order to get to that level, you got to put in a lot of time at the park and the gyms and working out and all that. So I get where their focus is. And my point is Shaquille O'Neal once asked Lenny Wilkins, who was a coach. I think it was an Olympic team, Chris. I think.
Believe so.
And he asked Lenny Wilkins, hey, coach, you know a lot about basketball. Did you ever play? And I wish Lenny Wilkins would have had the poster, Chris, of the 50 greatest players of all time.
Right.
Because Lenny Wilkins is on the same poster as Shaq.
Right. I was going to say, they were in that picture together.
I mean, I think Shaq missed that picture, if I remember. It
was in Cleveland. It was
in Cleveland, 1989. But I think he missed that picture. He might not have been
in that picture.
But still, Lenny Wilkins is in that picture. Shaq is on that list. But, Chris, this is my problem is Deshaun Watson, if this is really what you want to do, and I made examples. Bill Parcells was another guy who, if I'm going to cook the meal, I want to buy the groceries. He left the Patriots after they went to the Super Bowl in 1996. He never won again as a GM and as a coach.
Right.
We've seen guys try to do it. It's difficult. And franchises have a hard time, Chris, on trying to identify talent and bring them in the front office. So for a player to say, well, I want to be in on these decisions and I want to be in the room and I want to whatever, it rubs me the wrong way because I don't know what his knowledge is as far as him naming who should be involved and who should be the GM or even the coach for that matter. And if he is involved and they're terrible, does he get blamed for it? Like if he helps pick the coach or pick the GM and they fail, is he a part of it? Does he get broomed out with the two that he helped pick? I just think you're opening up a can of worms. And I'm not saying that they can't come to him, Chris, and be a sounding board. But if this is why you're mad, why the hell did you sign a contract extension with the Texans?
I'll tell you why.
Well,
why.
But my point is, you're going to come back after you sign and say, well, I have no confidence in leadership. Chris, you could have done something. You could have said, I don't want to be here. I don't have the team hasn't been traded, hasn't been sold since he signed the new deal. Do you see what I'm saying? If that happened, that would be different if they brought in new people and you said, I don't know these people. I don't have any confidence. They have a bad track record. This team has made the playoffs 4 out of the last 6 years.
Well, I think, Rob, number one, and I know why he signed the contract. Because it was the second highest paid contract in NFL history. 4 years, $156 million. And if you're thinking you have questions about the direction of the franchise or whatever, you also are thinking, you know what? I'm going to get my name on the dotted line, lock up this money, and if I'm not happy a year or two from now, I can try to force my way out. I mean, that's how you're thinking. So I agree. I think he should have signed the contract. And Rob, we always talk about this. This is football. And this Deshaun is a guy that's had significant injuries.
I get
So,
that.
I think he would have been crazy not to sign the deal. I get what you're saying, that you maybe you're not fully committed to that organization. But you know what? If I'm in that position, I'm thinking, let me get the money. And then if I'm not happy, I can force a trade or at least talk to him about moving on or something like that. So I think that's why he did it, because of the risk of injury in football and the enormous amount of money. And I think, Rob, you're looking at this as too black and white. Like you're comparing him to Bill Parcells and other guys that have wanted to be coaches and GMs. I don't think Deshaun wants to run the franchise. I think he was just like, look, you traded DeAndre Hopkins. You traded Jadeveon Clowney. You've done some really bad things as an organization when it comes to personnel. Run something by me. And then, Rob, they screwed up by the owner telling him, we're going to run it by you. We're going to take your input. You don't have to tell the player that. And I think, Rob, the final straw for Deshaun, and he may not get traded or he may not demand a trade, but what's made him so upset is that the Texans spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a search committee to make recommendations on who they should hire. They had a list of 5 people. Nick Casario, who ultimately got the job from New England, was not on that list of 5. The 2 finalists that the committee recommended were people of color. And I'm not saying they had to hire a black guy, but still, that's just a fact. They were people of color. And so and Tony Dungy and the former Texans wide receiver, the great star Andre Johnson, were also involved in the process of making recommendations on who they should hire. Nobody said Nick Casario. And out of the blue, when your search committee didn't have him on the list, when the great Hall of Famer Tony Dungy and your great receiver Andre Johnson didn't have him on the list, you just all of a sudden pick Nick Casario? That's what it is. He's looking at these dudes like they are numbskulls. And Ryan, I'll finally say this and then you can go back. Your guy, Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to say wasted because he's a Hall of Famer and he's had a great career and all that, but for 10 years, they didn't strengthen the defense. They didn't draft skill position players. They still aren't. But they haven't given him the help. And this dude, had he had another 2 Super Bowls or whatever, might be viewed as the GOAT. And because of the ineptitude of the front office, yeah, he's still an all-time great player and had a great career, but his legacy might not be what it could have been had he had some people making different decisions. Look at this now. What if they win the Super Bowl this year? We're going to be like, my goodness, what? Look at what Aaron Rodgers did with some people that knew what they were doing.
But this is my issue, is that if you're going to do that, why isn't J.J. Watt being talked to? He's the best player defensively. Why?
There's he ain't the quarterback.
No, but there's other players who are good, who are defensive players, Chris, who are the best player. Aaron Donald, you're not going to say anything with the Rams. He's not a quarterback. He's the biggest player on that team. So I don't buy into it. And Deshaun Watson, if you got a problem, you think it's just a recommendation. That's what that is, Chris. It doesn't mean that you're going to hire who they recommend. It's a recommendation. It's a process. We know how people are hired every day, right?
Wait a minute. It ain't right for a lot of these.
If you want to criticize that, then that's what you should be criticizing. If you want to come out and talk about the process and that you didn't think it was fair and you think that there was race involved or whatever, or this was a good old boys network, let me hear Deshaun Watson say that.
Deshaun hasn't said anything,
No,
Rob.
but this whole
it's
notion.
All people around him.
No,
supposedly.
I get it, but it's got to be coming from him. And I believe most of the stuff because it's been out there. All I'm saying is, to me, I want my quarterback to go out and try his best to be the best quarterback. And I'm not saying if I have confidence in a guy or I can talk to a guy and throw something by him, but I can't run my team through a quarterback.
Agreed.
Through a quarterback who could get hurt, who could play poorly, whatever. And now what? I just hired his guy, and now this guy is a bad coach, and we're losing, and he's not playing well. Now what? I mean, come on. That's a problem.
I do agree that you can't have a football player running the organization. And I know Deshaun's upset about this too. The reports are that he wanted Eric Bieniemy. They just decided to even talk to Bieniemy. Now, look, you and I don't study front offices and coaches like these teams do, and we knew you better interview Eric Bieniemy. So what in the world are they thinking when he's not even on their list? But I'm going to say this, Rob. They got Bieniemy on the list now. They're going to interview him. Here's where I do agree with you. I don't know. I mean, yeah, technically you can take that job. You can hire him. But that's not a good situation. Because now Eric Bieniemy is viewed as Deshaun's guy.
Yeah,
it's one thing to have a good relationship, right? You got to have a good relationship with your quarterback. But you can't be viewed by the other players or by
alienate everybody else.
That you answer to him. What if you cross him one day or you yell at him or you call him out? We know Belichick always did that with Brady. Can you do that with a guy that, you kind of
helped you get hired?
Yeah. So I'm with you there, but I just think you're going too far to say they should trade Deshaun Watson. And I don't think Watson also is saying, I want to be the de facto GM. I just think he wants some input because he sees some bad moves being made. Do you agree with Rob that the Texans should trade Deshaun Watson pronto?
Yesterday. You know when you read that, you laughed. Come on.
Yes, I did.
All right, Marty in Kentucky, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Marty?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? It's Trash Talking Tuesday.
That's
we
great.
Are great.
Did you see me trash your team? Did you see the video yet, Marty?
He didn't like it.
It's all right. I can live with it. What bothers me is Steelers Nation on social media. The bashing they're doing. They're bashing Mike Tomlin. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's bad. I know.
We don't fire our head coaches. It's ride or die with the Roonies, and it's produced 6 championships. Everybody needs to quit whining.
Right.
He'll leave when he wants to.
Argue with it.
Yep.
But
Marty, what's
I'm
your
sorry,
take?
I got off subject. Deshaun Watson, is he speaking out of turn? Sure. He's a quarterback. He's got enough responsibility, and he's great at his job. And a lot of people around him are not so great at their job. And he sees that the enemy doesn't even originally get an interview. This guy's behind Kansas City's offense is right in the middle of the mix with a guy like Pat Mahomes, who's got similar skill sets as Watson. And it's just obvious that he could be a very good fit, and he's not even interviewed. The guy's frustrated, and he's speaking a little bit out of turn. And human beings do that. And no, don't trade him. He is fantastic.
Good
All right,
call,
Marty.
Marty.
I don't want anybody on my team that doesn't want to be there. So if he would have asked for a trade, I would trade him because I don't want anybody like that. I want everybody to be. Pat Riley once said it, Chris. You always remember.
Change,
either you're
Rob.
in or you're out. That's what Pat. I always buy into that. Either you're in
can change.
or you're out. Are you in on the program? What we're doing here, The Odd Couple, or are you out?
But don't you think feelings can change?
I'm just saying.
I could be out right now, but if things change in a month, then I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I out? I think all of that is important too. And like Marty said, he got good reasons for being upset.
JR in Denver, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, JR?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Thanks.
Yep.
I'm with you, Rob, 100%. You're in, you're out. I'm a huge Texan fan, huge Deshaun fan, but hey, you either with us or you against us. And as far as it goes, I mean, like you said, those are management decisions to be, make him the highest paid. It was a management decision to draft
right.
him. You like the management or you don't like the management.
Because he didn't have to sign it.
Have they not made some asinine moves?
No, but Chris, that's not the point.
Absolutely, every team does.
Yeah.
But I'm in Colorado. I don't care I've seen enough of Bieniemy. I think he's one of those people where we say, he's probably a better coordinator. He should have stayed a coordinator. I think he's an absolute amazing
Look,
coordinator.
I'm not saying they had to
I'm ready
hire
give the
him.
keys.
He ain't even on
Well,
the
that's what they
list.
want.
He's not even on the
Why
list.
No,
he's not a coach. He's not a head coach.
Well, you don't know that,
everybody,
number one.
right? No,
You
we don't know that.
We
But
don't got an
everybody,
offensive problem.
right?
We don't
Everybody's
got
not
an offensive problem.
You got to be able to stop people, right? No doubt. Thanks, JR. We appreciate you in Denver. Thanks. Mark in Sacramento, you're on the Odd Couple. Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
What's going on, gentlemen? And hey, Mr. Parker, I wanted to tell you that takedown you did on what's his name, Bucky Brooks.
Yes.
Man, you gotta stop beating up on guests, or y'all ain't gonna get no more, man. You gotta stop doing that.
I told you, man, be nice to the guests.
Hey,
It's
you
their
know what,
turn.
Mark? Bucky deserved that, though. Come on. I had to get on him on that one.
I agree, saying he's a system quarterback.
Yes.
I agree.
Come
but
on,
real,
man.
but real quick.
Bucky's dying on that mountain.
Yeah, he is by himself.
Yeah. Real quick. It all depends on the offer, and you just don't give him away. It all depends on what comes back. What do you get?
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Just about anybody can be traded, but you better get a haul.
We've seen some of the greatest people traded. Everybody, you know what? Almost everybody's been traded. So
yeah. But to
Mark,
get him in the go ahead.
Do you think it's gotten to that point though? I think this stuff is fixable.
I do too. You get him in a room first of all, and you talk to him. And here's one you say to him. And you might want to say this. Eric Bieniemy has been interviewed, but I think if I'm not mistaken, every team.
Yes. And he still hasn't gotten the job
yet. So you gotta
yet.
wait. Yeah, so you might just have some patience. We were going to talk to him, so calm him down. And then you say, okay, we're going to talk to him. And then you say, we don't want you to get beat up. And like I said before, end up like Andrew Luck. So we're going to try to get you some protection here because you've been the most hit quarterback in the league. We're going to try to protect you, try to see if we can get you some more receivers, and we're gonna fix this. That's how you approach that.
No doubt.
Look, a lot of this
Mark.
stuff you can talk to guys. But, Rob, you know this. Sometimes front office guys, even some coaches, it's hard to believe in football, but, they don't talk to these guys like that.
No,
They're not comfortable
I get that.
sitting down, you know what I mean, face-to-face having a conversation with a player.
No, there's no doubt. We want to squeeze in one more. This guy's calling from Monterrey, Mexico, Chris. Juan in Monterrey. And I was in Monterrey, Mexico. I covered the Mets and Padres, played a game down there back in the 90s. What's up, Juan?
How y'all doing this evening?
Hey,
Man, it sounds nice and clear, Chris.
Yes.
Can you hear this? Wow.
Sounds great.
First time caller, long time listener, man. Love your show.
Thank you.
Enjoy it every day. Enjoy
Thank
the
you, buddy.
day. Rob, I'm a Rob hater. I'm going to be honest with you. I love you to death, man, but some of the stuff you say is wild, man. Especially about LeBron James, man. Big-time LeBron James fan. Chris, I watch you all the time on Undisputed and all this stuff that you come on, man. Love y'all to death, man. Just wanted to say that. I really appreciate what y'all do for sports, man, and y'all make my job a lot easier. So I sit here and drive and listen to y'all. I'm always got you in my ear listening, man. Love y'all to death, man.
Give our love to the folks
what
down
I
in
want to say
Mexico.
about say that again.
Give our love to the folks down in Mexico.
No doubt.
Man, yeah, we listen to y'all. I listen to you on the app, man, on the iHeart app.
Okay.
Yeah.
But good show, man. Like I said, man, I love listening to y'all.
So what's your take
I can't
on
say
this?
that about the rest of the programming I got in the morning, especially with Clay Travis.
All right. Hey, give us your take real quick.
Man,
We're losing him.
After all that, he
great
sounded
call
great.
from Monterrey, Mexico.